Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepreneur, a show where we will be exposing young entrepreneurs who themselves who go extra mile to solve problems by their innovations. On this show, we'll be featuring a young female entrepreneur, Miss Lillian Chikod or Apiculture, as it is called in their parlance. We welcome Ms. Ejete on this show. Ms. Ejete, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So, of idea into your background, I know that you're a graduate. I would like to know your journey through to where you are today.
Sajita Lilian Chikodinaka. I'm a graduate of History and International Relations at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. I'm a native of Oka too. So I ventured into agriculture after my graduation, just because of the passion I have for agriculture. Though right now I'm just practicing beekeeping, just practicing beekeeping.
Okay, so when you say you are just practicing beekeeping, is it that you are using it to while away time, or that you believe
No,
that this is you are
I've been into
aiming to solve
agribusiness for a very long
a
time.
problem?
I've trained on poultry farming, fishery, piggery, crop production, and every other thing. But right now, due to Cody's farm is just a very young business that is still trying to find its foot in the business world. So I have to look for a branch of agriculture that is not capital intensive and that will also give me a, um, a time to arrange my farm. So I started with beekeeping. Just like just like other branches of agriculture, it doesn't take much of your time, and it's not capital intensive. It's not capital intensive, and it doesn't take much of your time. You can just be going there like one month interval or 2 months interval your location. Subsequently, I intend to include other branches of agriculture into the farm. But right now, we are starting with beekeeping. But we have already two parts of our branches of agriculture that we are putting it this year. That is banana plantation and mushroom production. So before this year runs out, these are the two projects that we have now. But right now, what we have on ground is beekeeping.
You have a registered company, which is called this farm.
So this farm is a registered company for about 2 years. We are going to 3 years now. 3 years ago, is a company registered under agribusiness. So this farm is a small company still trying to find its footing in the business world. So right now, what we have in our farm is beekeeping. We specialize in beekeeping. Uh, from honey production, wax production, setting of apiaries for people, etc. So from 2021 to 2023, we have been dealing in honey production. But our this year's project, we are planning to go into banana plantation and mushroom production. So hopefully before this year runs out, this our new project, which also include the honey production since we are going into expansion. The honey production, that's beekeeping or apiculture. There are many uh, potential. So we have production of propolis, beeswax, royal jelly, um, and also honey. Though everybody is familiar with honey more than other products. So, but some of our products are normally used by the pharmaceutical companies and beauty companies. The bee venom is included. That's the bee stings, the stings from the bees. There are also some of the byproducts of bees. So all these things are what you will see in Cody's farm. All these products, we have it in Cody's farm. Just like the name implies, means Cody. In my dialect, it means uh, to stay, something that will remain. So I can assure you that Cody's farm is here to stay. And our main principle is to create a society where food security will be guaranteed. To create a very nice society where food security will be guaranteed.
Actually inspired you to go into apiculture?
Mm, I think it's more of passion. I think I love nature. Whenever I go to all these natural places, there's this kind of in going into agriculture. Have always been my passion since primary school. Yes, so I can still remember some of my stuffs. I love animals. I love plants. So going into agribusiness is not a mistake. It have always been part of me. So, so some people see it as a very scary stuff, but me, I see it as an adventure. It's part of me. Agriculture is part of me. Yeah.
Are you the only female apiculturist?
No, 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 no. I think in Anambra State, we are like two females in Anambra State. Though I'm still trying to train some women in apiculture business. So far, so good. I've trained like three females. So because of the business and everything, it takes a lot of conviction for you to convince people to go into the business. But it's a very nice business and very lucrative.
Do you mind letting us in through the process of apiculture? So, would you mind giving us a bit of insight as to how this is done in case of people who are interested?
Beekeeping, as we know, is as old as man. In fact, it's far, far older than man. And the modern method. Then in modern traditional method, you find honey or bees in any hollow, like caves, trees. Then also in traditional method, you have to start making use of calabash and the clay pots. They um, they apply attractant inside the clay pots or calabash, cover it, create two holes on the pot, then hang it on a tree. That's the traditional method of beekeeping. But just like the world is changing, we entered into modern type of beekeeping. In modern type of beekeeping, you are trying to still create a habitat where the bees will live. So we have to construct a hive. We go to the timber shade, buy a wood, construct a hive. We have three types of hive. We have Langstroth, Kenya top bar, Bulgarian top bars. So you have to construct a hive, apply attractant inside, create like two holes where the bees can enter. So when you apply the attractant, you now take the hive into the bush or any forest reserve. As far as there is enough nectar here, enough nectar and pollen there, the bees will colonize the hive. So when the bees, this method of modern beekeeping is just like it's still the same like the old one. The only thing that you are now creating a habitat, a house for the bees. So when you keep the hive there, the bees from the vegetation from the forest, they will now colonize the hive and start making honey. So most times when they colonize the hive, the next thing that they will do is to raise a queen among the workers, the worker bees. They will raise the queen, then the queen will start making, the queen will start laying eggs. Before you know, there is already a colony. Just give them a few months after making combs, they will start depositing honey. So they will start depositing honey inside the this thing. So most times people be like, modern apiculture is is not the honeys in modern apiculture is not a real honey because it's agri bees. There is nothing like agri bees. It's still normal bees. In fact, this is one of the animals you can domesticate. So it's still normal bees. The only thing that you created a house for the bees in the forest. You get them a house to live in, and they will start making honey. So that thing on the screen, that's the hive. That's the constructed Kenya Toba hive. So after placing the hive in your farm, in your apiary, and it got colonized by the bees, give them like, depending on the location, give them like six months to 1 year, you have a honey. So after that, we also have you harvest your honey. Just like I told you, we are beekeepers, not bee hunters. In traditional setup, for them to harvest the honey that they keep in a clay pot or calabash, some of them have to set the bush on fire to kill the bees. Some some have to make use of chemicals, which are not also good for our health. But in modern farming or modern part of beekeeping, we don't kill our bees. But due to because of their nature, they are very aggressive. So what you do is to get yourself fully kitted with your bee suit, go to the farm, smoke the hive. When you are smoking the hive, the smokes kind of control the bees and weaken them a little bit. You harvest your honey. You harvest your honey, then leave the environment. Just give them a few days. The bees will still reassemble and continue their activities without feeling disturbed. So after harvesting your honey, you take it to the honey press. Honey press is a machine we use to extract honey. Though you can make use of manual extraction. That's make use of sieve and other stuff. But I use honey extractor, honey press. You pour into the honey press, extract the honey, then separate the honey from the comb. That one is the honeycomb is another business on its own because from that honeycomb you have to after processing the honeycomb, that's where you get your beeswax. Beeswax is like normal candle wax, but this one is organic. Just call it organic wax. You can make use it to make your candles, your shoe polish. Some industries turn it to shoe polish, your candles, and some other, yeah, lipstick too. Beauty companies use it for their lipstick, soaps, and pomade. Then, which beeswax is one of the byproducts of beekeeping. We have explained honey, then beeswax. The third one is propolis. Propolis is bee gum. The bees normally use it to cover any holes around the hive. Propolis or bee gum. Bees normally use it to cover the holes. So it's one of the byproduct because and it's also medicinal. People normally use it to heal their wounds. Any body sore or wounds can be used to heal it. Then you talk about the royal jelly. Royal jelly is like honey. The only difference is that it's milk color in the color is milky in color. So the worker bees normally use the royal jelly to feed the queen. And it also serves as an aphrodisiac. And they also use it to make medicine. Then the bee venom, that the bee stings. Those in pharmaceutical companies use it to make drugs, and is in fact is one of the costliest byproducts of bees. Not necessarily honey, but bee venom. What again? We still have some byproducts of bees. But I think it's one of the best social insects that we have because apart from those products, they also helps us in biodiversity. So beekeeping is not a very difficult business. It's something like anybody can vendor it, both children at least from the age of 10 or thereabouts, you can handle.
So, what are the challenges? What challenges have you encountered so far in your beekeeping business?
I think the major challenges of every beekeeper is vandalism. It's one of the challenges we are facing on the business because sometimes the hive stand is normally made with iron. So some people, those people that are using iron condemns or thereabout, they will just come and pack the irons. Then we talk about honey hunters. They will just come after, maybe most times after colonization and everything, you're already happy that you'll be expecting a bounty harvest, only for you to go to your honey. And most times they destroy the hives beyond repair that after their, in fact, they destroy the colony after harvesting the honey. Normally, when you harvest, you have to do it in such a way that the bees will still stay there. But when honey hunters enters your farm, they clear everything. So the challenges we are facing are mostly from honey hunters and iron condemn. Shall we just call them honey vandals because what they do is just vandalize your whole apiary. That was one of the issues I faced in 2021. They destroyed most of my hives. Though even this year, they still destroyed most of my hives. It's just that I'm no longer feeling the impact compared to 2 years ago that they stole everything. So they just destroyed like 4 of my hives. We still continue pushing on, pushing it. and see what the future holds.
That means you have become a big shot in apiculture.
I won't say I'm a big shot, but let's just say that where I was 2 years ago is not where I am now. There we are still growing. I haven't reached the stage I want the business to be. So I won't say I'm a big shot. It's just still a growing business. At least this year we have a very bounty harvest, so it's a kind of observer to absorb those hives that were vandalized. So we didn't feel it much. The company produced close to we produced more than 500 liters this year. I think we produced more than 10. Is it more than we produced more than 1,000 liters this year? So I didn't actually feel the. Then another challenge is that we're facing is also lack of space. Sometimes for you to even get a space where you can, because when you talk about space, you'll be looking for a fenced farm to prevent it again being vandalized. So most times as a young business, fencing a land is a very big deal. So sometimes we get a land, we lease the land, but it is not fenced. So it's another challenge is on its own. So getting a land, uh, buying a land is which is on a high cost in the southeast. Then getting it fenced again is another issue on its own.
In Kogi State. So can we get an understanding of why you have to go that far as Kogi State, to set up a bee farm?
Kogi State is the state that asked me for 1 year during my service year. The reason why I actually go that far was because they have the enabling environment for the business. Actually, when you're talking about beekeeping, you are talking about nectars and pollen. So you don't get that type of vegetation in a very civilized area. Unlike my state, in Anambra State, we have more of houses around. So civilization have already taken care of, taking over everywhere. Civilization have already taken over everywhere. So most times you don't get that kind of vegetation you actually want for your bees. Then and also we don't have access to the forest reserve in Anambra State because when we talk about honey, we talk about pollen, and when we need enough nectars and pollen for you to even vendor into that apiculture. And we don't get enough in your farm. So most of the apiaries that I set around the farms here, they just gave me little or no honey. Unlike the one at Kogi State, all year round I'm getting honey. So that was reason why I moved that far. Though it's not too far, but it's actually where the main branch.
Let us know how much actually costs to go into apiculture.
Because of the high cost of wood now, I make use of mahogany or iroko. So one hive and a stand should be around 25,000. A hive and a stand is around 25,000. Then what you actually need as a starter, the hive and the stand, bee suits to cover yourself. That's the full gear. Should be around that 18 to 20,000. Then we need your smoker. It's very important. It serves the same purpose as a stick served for a cattle rearer. That one should be around 10 to 15,000. So in a nutshell, I think 100,000 80 to 100,000 is enough for someone to start and set up an apiary.
Every business needs funding. So, would you be needing investors in your business?
Surely do. I need investors in my business, but most times our fear is getting someone to invest in the business, and the business will get up. Uh, the business will be vandalized. So it's one of the issues we are facing. So most times I try to run away from investors. Actually, many people are out there to invest on the business, but it's just the fear of everything getting lost, and you people will end up losing their money. So, but it's a very, if you're able to get a fenced area with enough nectars, it's a very lucrative business.
So, thank you, Lillian, for your time. We look forward to having you again on the show. We wish you well in your endeavor. We believe that the sky is your starting point. We look forward to the exploits of Cordis Farm in the coming years. And do well to let us have a taste of the honey. We encourage our viewers and followers to patronize Cordis Farm, and anyone who intends to reach out should get in touch with us through our phone lines, our WhatsApp lines, and social handles. Be sure that Lillian, you will be connected with Lillian. So wish her well, and we look forward to engaging with her in the future. Thank you, Lillian, for your time.